Live. I think it's working. Is it working? Let me check. Give me a moment. You're live. I think it's working. Is it working? Let me check. Give me a moment. Yeah. I think there's just a delay. Okay. This should be fine. All right. So, hello everybody. Bear with me if things are not going as they're supposed to. But I think everything is up and running. There we go. So, with on request of Brains, I'm doing this in English. So bear with me. Nothing roleplay related, but my other hobby, I'm gonna make some frames for the bees. Frames for the bees. I see myself on delay, so let me switch here. There we go, this is much better. In them. And I have wax sheets here. So they go into the frame, and then I'm gonna be using these two buggers to melt the wax onto the frames. So first thing we do is we kind of start unpacking this. Let me see. There we go. Cut here, and I need to do about 6 of them. And the reason why I'm doing it, let me move the mic here a bit. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I got old from the store where I bought my bees. And the old frames need to be replaced. So I'm super lucky that I have a bee mentor. And he is gonna visit me either today. Oh, somebody was very sturdy with taping these things up. He's going to either visit me today or tomorrow to help me install these new things. Look, somebody taped this. This is horrible. Who would do that? Somebody to bug me. So, as I said, my mentor is going to be visiting me, but we're of course going to be keeping the minimal distance from each other as we install these things, because, you know, everybody's got to be safe and healthy and stuff. So, there we go. Well, who knows? Maybe by doing this, I'll get as many subscribers as Brains' Maker Vlog. Shout out. I'm curious if I'm still live and if I'm just not doing this for nothing. Let me check. Is everything still going? I think so. Yeah. Oh, hey, my sister's there as well. Hey, Iris. You can see me. Yay. There we go. Holy crap. There's probably a much easier way of doing this, but I'm a noob in all of this, so. There we go. Okay. First frame off. It only took me like 5 seconds or 5 minutes or something. There we go. Why How is somebody so thorough on this? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like thorough, but this is ridiculous. Maybe it's also because I bought these about a year ago and didn't touch them really. So, okay. Anyway, I got the first frame here, and as I learned, beekeepers in general, I'm not saying I am, but beekeepers in general are super friendly, and I got a lot of old stuff, or well, no longer in use stuff from an old beekeeper friend, and it's this homemade slack of wood, which it's like it's built for it. The frame just like this. The frame just fits in it perfectly. It's like it's made for it. Wow. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, now that I unpack this this frame, is these wires that are in here, they're not as tight as we want them to be. And also, it's just a single line. And so, wait, what's going on? The keyframe frequency is a few seconds or less. Currently, keyframe is not being set often enough. Sure, whatever. So these wires are not tight enough, and they have too much movement. And for that, we have this device. It's I don't know what it's called, but you clamp the wire in between here, you squeeze it, and then you run it down, making it jagged. So it creates, how do I put it? It creates more space, and it makes the wire tighter. So you clamp it in here, and you just run it down. I meant to do that. There we go. There we go. As you can see now, the wire is a little more jagged. So it helps the wax from connecting better. And let me just grab this again. Do it again. Much better. So now the next one, grab it. There we go. Pulling up somehow seems to be better. Mama. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just ask them. Maybe even text me if you know me. Then you can just, I can answer any questions. But it's all pretty simple, so I won't be offended if you guys don't have any questions. There we go. All right. Now, I think I'm gonna do 6 of these, so that I don't have to come back and do another one. So, yeah. I'll just unpack the next one. Let me check. Current viewers, 2. Which I'm assuming is still my sister, but it could also be somebody else. Elis, enjoying the area. Oh no, Ire. Oh, somebody's having a nice bike ride. Okay. There we go. I think I got the tape. I'm gonna get the tape off better this way. I mean, they stick together really great, but it's just not awesome to remove. There we go. Okay. I love the smell of wax. It just smells so great. There we go. Wow, riveting thing. This must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got as many out here as I need. Go. Memo to self, I should probably unpack these as soon as I buy them, or to make it easier to get the tape off. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5. Last one. 6. There we go. I can move these here. You can, by the way, make these frames yourself, but I'm a lazy bastard, so I just buy them fixed already. I don't really know why they don't do the wire trick as well, but I guess if they do, it's just more expensive. You can probably even buy them with the wax in them, but it's not bad work. There we go. Ah, my sister's watching me while she's baking pancakes, and I believe she is still in Switzerland, so stay safe. This one needs a little more. There we go, another one done. So once I have all these frames wired properly, I'm going to use the transmitter or the electricity thing that I have to heat up these wires. And they will make sure that the wax melts into them, so that the bees don't have to build all the stuff themselves. Now there are people that say that there are pros and cons against this, you know, because you are introducing strange wax into your own beehive, wax that they didn't make. But because it's my first beehive, I kind of pamper the bees, and I want them to have it as easy going as they can. So I might stop doing it after a while, but I don't know. There's also something to be said for them being able to focus on other things. There we go. Can you imagine having, I don't know how many hives, and having to do this for all these hives? Whew. There we go. 2 more. There we go. It's so nice to see the bees now waking up and becoming productive again. And I am lucky enough to have my bees be alive. So that is just amazing. It was I was a bit worried that they might not make it through the winter, but we had a very mild winter. So I think everybody, or a lot of people, had a mild winter. And you know what's also nice? This is super corona proof. I'm just sitting inside building these frames. Oh, just a little bit. There we go. Final one. Let me see what kind of texts I got. Ooh, nice bike ride. Final one. It's funny that ever since I started this hobby, which was last year, I think about 5, maybe even 6 people I spoke to already said like, oh, I want to start doing that too. It's so cool. So I'm kind of curious on who is actually gonna start doing it, because I remember myself, I said it for years. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna keep bees. It's gonna be awesome. But it took me ages before I actually got the balls to do it. Not so much the balls, but I was just... I saw a lot of obstacles. And I felt like, oh yeah, but what about the neighbors? And what about if I don't know what I'm supposed to do and stuff? But it all turned out great. With a lot of thanks to my bee mentor, because he's just super great. He just helps me whenever I can, when he can. So, I now have the 6 frames wired the way I want them to. And now I'm gonna use the wax. So, let me see if I can tilt the camera so I need to see myself live. There we go. This, so I placed the frame in here, and I put this sheet inside. There we go. And the weird thing is, you would think that these sheets and the frames, I bought them at the same store, would be the same size. But for some reason, it doesn't completely fall in. So that's kind of annoying. So I have to cut off a small strip of wax. And now I forgot to grab something that I can use as a guiding thing. I'll just use this, I guess. So, come on. There we go. I would have liked to have like a measuring tape of sorts or something hard, preferably metallic. Because I know myself, I'm not going to be able to cut that just by eyeballing it. What can I use? What can I use? That's also something that I like about being a beekeeper. You have to improvise. So I'll use this. Let's see here. Now I can't really see how much I'm gonna cut off. This is better. Okay. So it's gonna be a small strip. There we go. Maybe you can see it. I just use a potato peeling knife. Just cut it off like this. See if it fits. Like a glove. All right. So, as you can see now, it fits completely in the frame. And now here on the side, the wire runs through and you have these little holes on either side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it in here and kind of slightly press down on it. Wait, I probably don't even have to place it in here. Let me move this to the side. And now I have these two wires that are connected to this bad boy here. I think he made it himself, but it's again something that I got from the old beekeeper. And you just place them on either side of this. And you can hear it just connecting. And you look at the wire that's heating up. To make sure that it's melting in. There we go. And now, here you can see that from this perspective, bottom wire is slightly coming through. And now I'm gonna do the other two. So you go like this. I can start seeing the wire. Just waiting for a moment to see. You want it to be in there well. Okay. There we go. Now, you got a lot of fancy ones that you can regulate the power that you want running through the wire. That, of course, makes it go faster or slower. This one doesn't have that, but it has a, oh, as you can tell, it has a nice low currency. So you can just hold it on there for a while and stop when you start seeing the wire more clearly. And let me do the last one. So I'll hold it here. And hold this one here. So I can understand that if you have have to do dozens of these, that making it go a little faster saves you a lot of time. But yeah, I only have one beehive, so it's fine. There we go. Okay, so now on this side here, you can see, you can see it pretty nicely. You can tell that the wires start seeing through. Of course, on the other side where the wires are officially melted in, you can see them even clearer, but this is good enough. I'm pretty happy with that. So, first frame done. And you might ask, why replace them? If not, I'm still going to tell you. You replace them because the cells have are used for everything. They're used for honey storage. They're used for making baby bees. They're used for pollen storage. Everything. And using them for everything constantly, the cells become dirty. Even though the bees clean them very well, they still become darker and and less hygienic. So what bees usually do is they fly off, go somewhere else, and they don't really care, or they just make it themselves. But because you as a beekeeper kind of control these things for them, you sometimes want to give them new frames. So my sister asked me, how much time do you save the bees from not having to build these frames? I don't know exactly, but bees make wax by sweating wax out of their glands, and these are just tiny, tiny little flakes. And other bees kind of gnaw them off their body and start chewing them and stuff, and they have to build these cells. So I think you're saving them a lot of time, but more importantly also a lot of energy. They need substance and they need food and the proper construction to be able to create wax. And by giving them this, they still have to build, because you can see the little cell frames on here. They still build the frames out, but they just they don't have to build as much. So I don't exactly know how much time. It's a good question. I can actually ask my mentor if he knows, but I guess it depends also on what resources are available to them and stuff. But I think the main thing is that now you're saving them time anyway, and you're saving them energy, and they can just focus on building up their stores, collecting honey, looking after the baby bees, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a good thing. I enjoy doing it. I'm actually a little late doing it because this is usually something that most beekeepers do in the winter, but I didn't know if I had to do it, so I wasn't really sure. But my mentor said, oh yeah, we should definitely replace a couple of frames, the ones that you got from the bee home, of the bee house. That is, they're at least 2 years old, so you want to replace them. And yeah, if you can see the ones that I put freshly into the beehive and the ones that I got from them, the wood's much darker, the cells are much darker, and these look a lot better and more hygienic. So yeah, it's nice. So I hope that answers your questions at least a little. So now I got to cut off another strip because every one of them is too big. But don't worry, the wax doesn't go to waste. I keep the wax, the little strips, and I haven't done it last year, but my sister-in-law has, and I might actually use it to build candles and stuff, and maybe even build these new wax sheets. My mentor knows a guy who helps a lot of beekeepers, and he has this massive machine which allows him to melt all the wax and make these types of frames, or these types of sheets that you can put in the frames. So that's super effective, and then you actually use your own wax. Not of course this, because this is not my own wax, but when you harvest the honey, you cut off the little bulbs, the little capsules, which close the cells, and yeah, so you just add them. I all of a sudden had a dark thought where I didn't check if I created audio or something, but well, maybe I'm just talking to myself, but that's fine. I'm good company. There we go. Next. I'm so lucky that I got these stuff from another beekeeper, which is sad because he had to stop beekeeping because he lives pretty much on farm area, and they were using too much pesticide, and there was too much of a monoculture there, so his bees couldn't survive. So it's sad. But well, I'm in luck because he gave me all this stuff, great stuff, and I could just use it to make my own frames. Even has a lot of wood that I can use to hammer in my own frames. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably do that once my friend shows up. Once we're allowed to see each other again. There we go. Again, too big. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is what I do today. Yeah. Wat is er, Lara? There we go. Look, I didn't really cut this one off very nicely. See that? Try to do quickly. That's what you get. So I have 1, 2, just enough. My mentor said that I had to make 6, and I just have 6 more sheets left. Hello, Albertina.
Hello.
I'm making a video, so you're on the back. Hey!
Hi. Well, the bees are very busy.
Good.
Very, very
One. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna end the video pretty soon because you guys see me doing this isn't really a lot of fun. But anyway, this is how you make the frames. If you have any questions, post them and I'll try to answer them. Okie dokie. See you guys. Bye bye.